Well, hey, everyone. Happy Sunday. I'm Tuna, and
And
this is.
I'm Dr. Michael Gross. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being on. I appreciate it very much. We've got a great message, but more importantly, we appreciate your participation and your support because, in your small, beautiful way, by listening to us and spreading the word, we're beginning to make many positive changes on this planet. So, thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It is.
Talk.
And
And
we're going to talk a little bit about our books because we always do this intro. And this is the book that Tio wrote, Healing the Holes in Your Soul. Let me get the little, there we go. And it's a beautiful book. It's all about a survival. And as I said, it's all about being in a tunnel, down in despair, losing your self-worth, self-love, self-esteem, feeling hopeless, and then coming out of the tunnel into the sun, into the light of love and joy and happiness and healing. This is a great book. It's a great read, but it's very, very motivational. And it's something you're going to pick up many times. So I encourage you, healing the holes in your soul.
okay. However, if you decide to get that book, start with this one because this is the reason that I found my way out of that tunnel and moved forward into the light. So start with this book. I really encourage everybody to read chapter 3 more than one time. Okay. I love chapter 3. And then that book, because that book tells you a lot more about me, and I also incorporate him into that book. Oh my goodness. But honestly, these make great gifts if you know anyone who's struggling in any way. It's a beautiful story. I've got nothing but accolades from the book I wrote, and I give nothing but the biggest accolades for this one. So make sure that you at least take a look at the websites. We'll put all that in the contact information, and we're going to go ahead and get started because we have a fabulous message for you.
We sure do. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate your participation. I appreciate everyone in here. Oh, we went blurry. Hello. We're coming back to planet Earth again. So thank you, everyone. It's a very sensitive camera, and when you move too fast or you do something too fast, it has to readjust, and there's a little delay time.
Sorry about that, you guys.
We're coming back into focus. So thank you. I believe we will. There we go. We're in focus. I just had to lean forward, and it's just great.
Oh, yeah. They're picking up on him. They're just picking up on me getting blurry. I wonder if there's a subliminal message there, right? Okay. So here's the thing. We have a beautiful topic for you today. It's life's challenges. And let me tell you, I think we all experience challenges in our day. Doesn't matter who we are, where we are. It doesn't matter whether we're wealthy or we're homeless or whatever. We all have challenges. That's just the way life is. So Dr. Michael is going to tell us his powerful message. But before we get to that, we don't script anything. So number one, we're really, really grateful that you come into us on a Sunday night.
Yep.
Because we changed the time to, with the summer and whatnot going on, we thought that more people would join us. So we appreciate you taking your Sunday night. And on that note, the only thing we script is this little paper right here. And that's so that I make sure that Michael gets the acknowledgement he needs for all the things he does.
All right. Alrighty. Thank you.
So I'm going to read the script, and I do have a tendency to get a little off topic. Sorry.
That's okay.
But the script just goes like this, okay? Dr. Michael Gross is an author, professional keynote speaker, transformational coach, and an entrepreneur. I should read this by memory by now, honestly. But I don't, because I want to make sure I don't miss anything. So for more than 3 decades, he's been on a spiritual path as an intuitive healer. See, I already messed up. As an intuitive, a healer, a spiritual counselor, and an amazing teacher. Through the guidance of spirit, Michael has assisted others in their personal quest for self-empowerment, helping them to create the lives that they have long sought and to bring forth their intuitive abilities. Michael currently teaches classes in spirituality, self-empowerment, Reiki, and other modalities. In concert with God, the true source, he also has achieved great success and miraculous healings. He remains humble. Really?
Thanks a lot.
I'm kidding. He does remain humble. Trust me, he does. Knowing the work that he does all comes from God, the true source. He lives in Lakewood, Washington, and has just launched his nonprofit. And I'm going to let Michael tell you a little bit about it. And then hopefully, before we wrap it up, he'll also give you a little more information on it. So I'm going to take it away, Michael Gross.
Thank you very much. Well, as some of you have seen before, we have a 501c3, which is called the International Institute of Self-Empowerment. And just a brief history, when Spirit said to do that, and I've learned never to argue with Spirit because Spirit always wins, true source always wins. Finally formed the 501c3 and didn't know what I was going to do with it. But it's really about the 12 different protocols. And I was given a little bit of an outline of it, but the first one is working with abused women, children, and men. As many of you who know or are new to this, that's what we're doing. We're going through the fundraising and grant writing to obtain more monies. And my vision is of it is to help abused women and children. Now, when you get an abused woman, she probably leaves the house, runs like heck for her safety, takes 1 or 2 children with her, or whatever the number is, doesn't know where to go, can't see the light at the tunnel, and would come to us. And what we do is put her up in a hotel, then get her an apartment, then do counseling with them and the children, because we don't want history to repeat itself. And of course, it does many times. And then teach her a little bit about cooking expertise, cleaning, or whatever is necessary, maybe not. And then get her in a vocation where she can be financially independent. That's one of our goals, and we'll be concentrating on that. And once we get that rolling, we'll be working on number 2, then that's rolling, number 3, so on and so forth. So it's a really beautiful program we're putting together, and I've asked you to be my director in working with abused women, children, and men, because she's got more expertise in it than any of us do, because she went through it. And she now came out of the darkness into the light, and I consider her an expert on how to survive in that. You know, we could read books, we can do all those things, but, you know, you talk to someone who went through it, it's an amazing, amazing story. And anyway, that's what we're doing, and then we'll talk about more things we're doing later, but I thought we'd get to the meat of the matter, and the meat of the matter is...
your life's challenges.
Yes. And so we're challenged every day in life. And I started to think about the simplicity of life way back in the early 1800s. But, you know, in the early 1800s and 1700s, they didn't live very long, maybe 35 or 40 years old. And the idea is, well, they were an agrarian society, it means we have farms. And so you had as many children as you could have because they were cheap labor. So they would work there, and they were guaranteed that when you couldn't work any longer, they would take care of you and they would run the farm, and eventually their children would, and so on and so forth.
So my dad grew up. My dad was a farm boy.
How many were in his family?
He had
Siblings.
1 brother and 2 sisters.
Okay.
And then his aunt moved in. They built an extra room for her.
So if we understand all that, is that was our agrarian society, and they were all into survival. Well, and they had very, you know, chickenpox, measles, childhood diseases. They used the word consumption. They couldn't explain what it was consumption. And now here we are in the modern 20th, 21st century, even though it's 2022, 21st century, we're living longer, and we have a lot more stresses, I think. And I say I think because in the agrarian days, you know, they prayed for the rain, they sowed the seeds, and they would harvest it at the right time, then sell it, and that's how they would survive. And they may buy more land or rent land. So those are the things that went on, and there was a lot of stress. But I will tell you, when they had a lot of stresses, they had to provide for the family. And it wasn't something like we could do today, take out, bring it home and eat it, or get out a piece of frozen whatever, dinner and eat it, or make frozen dinner. They had to do everything from scratch. So spend a moment and just think about that, how blessed we are to have all these conveniences. But really, this is what's happening in life's challenges. The conveniences own us. And we've forgotten how it owns us. You know, you come in, oh my God, my phone doesn't work. I can't get a hold of it. Oh my goodness. And you freak out. Because I know I freaked out.
Oh, that happened to me the other day when I was trying to upload stuff to my new phone, and I was driving home thinking, nobody knows where I am. And I can't call for help.
And we forgot in the times we didn't have cell phones, we memorized everybody's number.
Yeah.
You know, we memorized it. Now we don't because we got the cell phone. And then we communicated with everybody by the phone, writing a letter, maybe a telegram or whatever. We would meet them. Now we email them and we text them and we do all these wonderful, fantastic things. But what we've learned is really nothing. We have more modern conveniences. But what we have learned in life is we've added more and more and more encumbrances. And we begin to enjoy life less and less and less. And now people go, oh, I'm going to take a vacation. Oh boy, I'm going to feel good. I get 2 weeks vacation. Well, most people, they go out, takes them 3 or 4 days to wind down. Then they have a great time on the vacation. They talk about it. And then they come back and then there's an emotional downer and they're a little depressed because back to the old grind. Whereas in the other ancient societies, I'm talking medieval, even now in the 30s and 40s, that's what I talk about the now. Families did picnics, they did things together, they entertained each other, they would sit by the radio, sometimes listen to the jokes, but more importantly, they were a team and they supported each other. And that is not happening very much. You know, you call the child down to dinner, I don't like what I'm eating, so you make them something special, you don't make them eat whatever the mom's made. You did all that stuff. You're doing all to make them happy. And the choices in life we make throughout our lives, guess what? Comes back and bite us. Comes back and bite us in many different ways. And it can come back and bite us in a wonderful, joyous way. Or it can come back and bite us in a very negative way. And that's what I want to address even more about your choices in life. So what is our responsibility in our choices in life? Well, to make the best choices possible. Sometimes we don't make the best choice possible. But if we go into it with an open heart and open eyes, and we say we want to make this choice very successful for us, you will get all the accolades you need, and you'll get the wherewithal to accomplish this. Spend a moment and think about how much time do you spend with your children? How much time do you spend just relaxing and enjoying life? And as a generation, we're always on the go, 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 go. That's all we do. And we seek something to entertain us. We don't know how to entertain ourselves. We want to be entertained by others. Well, that's why comedians are successful. But there comes a time where you don't have a comedian around you. And here you are at home. And the only entertainment you have is walking back and forth. Yeah. Yeah. That's so important. You heard me hesitate. The reason I'm hesitating is because I'm thinking about everything that we've done. And I saw recently on, it was a YouTube. And I thought I'd share this with you. And this woman was buying some goods. Sorry, everybody, I am on total alert all the time. And so this woman was talking to this young girl, and she said at the checkout counter, and at the checkout counter, the young girl said, oh, well, it's because of your generation that, you know, we have all this waste and pollution and everything. And she was 65 years old, and she said, yeah, you're right. We used to take our bottles of soda and milk and everything, and we bring them back to the store, and we get 2 cents for a nickel back, and they would sanitize and reuse the bottles over and over again. But you're right, we weren't green. And then she said, you know, we used to go shopping and get the paper shopping bags, and in the paper shopping bags, we use them for garbage bags. And then we take whatever we had left, and it would be used for, covering our books. And we would recycle it in that way, but you're right, we create a lot of waste. She would say that. And then she said, oh, and you know, we weren't green. We would walk to 2 blocks to go shopping instead of driving our car. You're right, we weren't green. Or if we traveled, we took the bus or the trolley car, but you're right, we weren't green. And oh, you're right, we only had one TV set and one radio, and that was it. But you're right, we weren't green. And I want everybody to understand while I bring this up, and I was reflecting about that in my childhood. It's like, wow, you're right. We recycled everything. We were green. We didn't call it green. But out of necessity, out of life, we turned around and utilized everything we could. Now, what has happened? In the flow of life, we become spoiled. We become disposable. Everything's disposable. And I was just talking to someone the other day, and they were saying, in their refrigerators, did you know a refrigerator has an 8 to 10 year life? That's it. Whereas when we bought refrigerators many years ago, they would last 20 or 30 years.
Can I say something?
Sure.
My dad on the farm, they didn't even have a refrigerator. They had a hole in the ground that they called the root cellar. And that's where they kept their food cold. And, they were, that was part of the mindset that when he immigrated to Canada and we grew up there, we did have a refrigerator, but we also had a compost heap, because why drag garbage to the dump when you can recycle it and let it go back into the ground? We didn't use plastic. We used cloth bags or paper bags. And like Michael said, they repurposed it, because that was also something that was biodegradable, but we weren't necessarily green. We didn't even have that label back then.
And it's really important. So those are some of the choices in life. Now I want to get more up to date about our choices in life. And our choices in life are predicated on what? Feeling good. We're going to do whatever makes us feel good. Doesn't mean it's right, but you feel good about it. And that's something we need to examine. Sometimes we make a choice that doesn't feel good, but it's the right thing to do. But if we don't feel good, then we'll reject it. For example, in my growing up, my parents would keep a car until it fell apart. Today, people keep a car 3-4 years and trade in for new car. And what happens is that you have all these old cars that's sitting and around, rusting out, or whatever's happening to them, or they're made out of plastic or fiberglass, and they don't break down, and they're being stuck in junkyards, and they're looking for ways to recycle it or whatever. So even though our gas mileage is better than it was, obviously, in the day I was driving, the thing is that we're creating more and more use for gasoline. We're using up more and more natural resources. Now, I'm not one of these people who's saying you shouldn't use the natural resources. I believe that you should use everything wisely, and that's really important. But the choices in life we make, we're more sedentary. So we have more heart conditions, more obese people. Because why? We don't walk, we take the car, we use Uber or whatever. And we don't have time to stop and smell the roses. Many times I take a walk around my neighborhood, and it's probably about 1.25 miles the walk I take, or maybe a little less. And I see all the greenery on the flowers and what people have done to make their homes look beautiful. And I begin to enjoy this beautiful palette, this artistry of Mother Nature. And we don't understand the artistry of Mother Nature. Here in the Pacific Northwest, I have rhododendron bushes. They're gorgeous flowers, just gorgeous. And we have a lot of roses. And the most important thing we need to realize is that we've lost our way. We've lost our way about what brings joy and happiness. Again, reflecting back, a big time, it was a weekend, my mother would have a basket, pack a lunch, and we go driving out to the park, and then we would throw down a blanket, and we would sit there and have a little picnic lunch, and maybe if it was a place we could go swimming, we'd go swimming. And we enjoyed the day. Well, what is our choice today? Well, we have to have TV. We have to have all those games. And we have to make play dates. And if we get bored with our children, go play with your iPad or go play on this. What is the interaction of the family and the mom and dad? It isn't. They're there for dinner time, if the child comes down for dinner. And of course, you get, I don't want to eat that. I'm not hungry. I want this. So parent will make that. Of course, when I was growing up, the people in Asia are starving and you can't get off the table till you finish it. So all these things are going on in our choices. And our choices are bigger than ever before, but they're more limited. They're more limited in the sense that we don't spend time with family. We don't spend time enjoying the outdoors. What does outdoors mean? Oh, well, maybe we'll play tennis or we'll take our kids to play soccer, which is very admirable. But what is happening today is the sense of creativity on our own is getting lost. And that's so important. My son owns a couple of restaurants. And on Sundays, you come in, it's family day. And he gives a discount, I believe. And he has a basket. You must put your cell phones in the basket if this is family day and you're coming here for lunch or dinner.
Perfect.
And that gives you a chance to communicate. But what happens? Everywhere I go. You go in. How's your day? Everything going well? And they're playing with their phone all the time. Now
Sometimes they're texting each other across the table.
Isn't that they are? I mean, that's crazy. Now you heard my phone ring and I said I'm alert because some of the work that I do, doctors have to consult me, so I have to leave it on. And I'm sorry for the interruption, but sometimes it's life or death. And I have to make those decisions. But we'll talk about that another time. What I want everybody to understand in your life choices, to reevaluate what's important in your life, okay? And number one is you're the most important, having good health. Because I don't care if you got one child or you're 20 years old or 100. Without health, you cannot accomplish anything in your life. Steve Jobs talked about that, how he was a workaholic and how demanding he was. And now he talked about the illness and what it taught him. And many others have. So one is keeping yourself in good health. And you know what? That's relatively easy. Eat right, exercise. And that exercise is just walking a little bit. So what? Any type. And then the second thing is your spouse, keeping them healthy and exercising. And the third is your children. Most people put their children first, which psychologically it makes sense. But if you're not around, you can't help them. They're going to get lost. And we all know what happens with a lot of single parents. Not all, but a certain percentage join gangs and all the things we read about. The most important thing is the next is family. Make a choice to be a family member, to help your family be part of the family, to teach them to make the right decisions and why you make decisions. They may not agree with you. And actually, as a teenager, they become very self-centered. And that's one of their choices. And that's the phase of life they go through. But it's up to you to explain why you make your decisions and how you make your decisions. And what you're doing is planting seeds. That's all about planting seeds in your life. Life is never this way. It's this way and this way and this way and this way. And I've noticed somewhere between 42 to 50, every family goes through a crisis. Now, maybe not every family, but the majority of families do. And so many of them come to me and said, look, I've seen this for so many years. And, I try to explain to them what they need to do. And a few years later, 2 years, 5 years, 1 year, depends upon how they fight it. And everything becomes more copacetic. However, they have a different attitude on life. So what can we in our life choices impart to our children and to our friends? It is to stand up for who we are in our belief systems. It's not to be argumentative. It's not to force it down anyone, but just explain your belief system and honor others who have an opposite belief system. Say, I honor your decision, but it's not comfortable for me. So please honor mine and let's go out and have a nice tea and not argue about it. But this country has become so divided, not only here, but all the countries. It's because our life choices are based on our egos. There's a beautiful one, ego, edging God out. What makes us feel good, not what's right. And what's right is being honest. What's right is making sure that the decisions you make affect others in a positive way. What's right is not letting yourself be bullied or taken advantage of. What's right is saying to you that if someone is trying to manipulate you, to be aware of it. What's right is to listen to your inner true source guidance, or some what people would say your gut guidance, to realize when you're being hoodwinked or taken advantage of. All those things are very important. I see to you as saying we're getting close to the time.
Just a subtle note.
He says, yeah, she has a way of subtly telling me. But I want everybody to know, reevaluate your life. Take in consideration what is important in your life, your health, your spouse, and your children, and your, not only that, but your siblings, your parents and grandparents. And you know, the easiest thing we can do, which is the most inexpensive thing, is to love them unconditionally. And have a gathering, get together with them once a month, every week, whatever it is. Spend family time with them and learn from them, because you know what? The older generation has so much experience. And you know how they learned it? Through trial and error. Yep. I wanted everybody just to remember that your choices in life, review your life, make those choices that enhance your life, your family, and your friends, because we're going through a critical period. And that critical period in life right now is the choices we make are far reaching. So listen to true inner source guidance, that gut guidance. Listen to what others have to say who have more experience. And if it doesn't feel right, just say thank you and don't follow it. But if it does, remember you're following a winner and not a loser. So thank you, everyone. Go ahead, TU.
Oh, wow. I was like, so blown away by what you just said. You caught me. My mom used to always say, just listen to your gut and you'll know what the right thing to do is. And you're absolutely spot on with a lot of things. Michael does Tuesday night call-in, and every Tuesday night at 6:30 Pacific time, Pacific Standard, Daylight, whatever, he does this call-in, and we get an opportunity to ask him our burning questions. And what I'm learning by listening to the call-in every Tuesday is that not only is he sharing true inner source guidance with us and all these other fantastic things that he's learned in all these years, but a lot of what he talks about reminds me that my mom also shared the same messages. But when she shared it, I was 18 years old, teenager. I'm like, yeah, whatever, Mom, whatever. But now, all these years later, by hearing your stories, Michael, you're reminding me of the things my mom and dad taught me.
Thank you.
The moral codes that we learned as kids, the things that they taught us, make a whole lot of sense. So if you have any burning questions, if you're struggling with anything in your life, or you're just curious, I encourage everyone to dial into Michael's call Tuesday at 6:30, because it's phenomenal. And he always leaves a recorded message the last 10 minutes of the call. So look how I went into that, huh? Anyway,
Great segue.
It just kind of rolled out. But here's the number, and we will put everything in the comments as well. But the Tuesday night call-in number is 202-926-1059, and the access code
is 125446#.
I'll say that one more time. 202-926-1059, and the access code
125446#.
Love when he does that. Now, the last 10 minutes of those calls, roughly 10 minutes or so, he has a recorded message. And I think you're up to 220, maybe 25 or so, maybe even more.
Maybe more.
I don't remember. But these recordings can also be accessed at 434-300-4170.
And the access code is 125446#.
I'm like, oh my gosh, don't fall off the table. Okay, one more time. That one is 434-300-4170. And Michael, the access code
is 125-446-pound.
So 24/7, you can access those calls anytime. If you're stuck in traffic, would you like to add a little bit?
Yes. I don't know about you, but we're getting stuck in traffic, or we do, and sometimes we get bored or angry or upset. And it's great to play what I call the replay, because you would start at number 3 going up to 225 or 30, whatever it is, and you'll receive the 10 or 12 minute motivational message, which will make you feel a lot better, or at least pass the time more quickly. And I encourage all of you to do that, or you got some spare time, because you get new insight. And they like to use the word golden nugget. So if you get one golden nugget, one little thing that changes your life, it's worth it. Many times I talk to people or go to workshops, so I know exactly what they're going to talk about. I get that one little item that makes a difference, and that's what I'm looking for. So here are the one individual items that I believe will help change your life. Thank you to you. And you want to talk about one other thing.
Okay. We do our Facebook Live, and you can also see it on YouTube. It's on our Facebook pages and whatnot. And that's every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And here's the best part. The second Saturday of every month, I'm going to let Michael tell you this.
Yes, it's part of my mission and goal. We do a mass consciousness healing. And I'm going to reiterate it again, and that is my goal is to get 1% of the population, just 1%, to reconnect with God, the true source. Once they're able to do this, they can manifest their missions and goals on a spiritual level. Everyone has one. Everyone has a mission and goal, family, friends, relatives, career, but also one on a spiritual basis. And that is one of the more important ones. Actually, I'm prejudiced. It is the most important thing. Because if you manifest love on this planet, and we get 1%, and then it begins to grow and grow and grow and grow, what would be this planet? What would it be like? How would we respect each other? How would we share everything with each other? How would we eliminate anger, frustration, lack of self-worth, self-love, self-esteem? How would we achieve that? It blows my mind to think about the unlimited possibilities. Therefore, everyone, please call in. Please be part of this, because not only will it help you in your life, it'll help all of us in this life and change this planet to the planet of aggression that we are. Before I get off for a moment, I want everybody to understand I've been told by Spirit, this is the third most dense energetic planet on the universe. And oh my God. We are the third most densest planet. Boy, we got a lot of work to do. So everyone, I appreciate your participation. And it doesn't take many of us to make a difference, because it will spread like a domino theory or like a wildfire. And the telephone number is?
The telephone number for that, we all want to create the ripple of love that blankets the world, okay? The telephone number is 202-926-1059.
And the access code is 125-446-pound. I had to do that, and I just had to do that. I have fun.
Are we doing it again?
No, everybody should have
It's the same call-in number as you have for Tuesday. And, if you've never experienced that, you're really missing out. So definitely pop in at least on the second Saturday of May. It's coming really, May's already here. It's coming next weekend.
And everyone, it is. And just remember, Mother's Day is coming up. Think about how you want to honor your mother, because I will tell you, without Mom, you wouldn't be here.
No way.
I know you do. I know. You just floated down, in an egg and got hatched. I understand. But the egg comes from her mother.
Dropped me.
But it's still mother, Anyway, think about Mother's Day, how you can appreciate your mother. And if your mother is, no longer with us, then light a little candle. Tell her how much you love her. and how much you care for her, and nibble something she really liked, what she really was happy about making for you, or what she really enjoyed in honor of her on Mother's Day.
Yeah, Mother's Day is coming soon.
Yes, yes, more quickly than we thought. So everyone, I want to thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening to us, and let us to share with you our experiences, but share with you some motivational thoughts. And for me, just talking probably too long, too much, but there's so much I'd love to share with you and show with you. But
Can I just throw in one thing, Michael?
whatever you desire.
Okay. We recently learned that 86%, I believe it's 86% of the global population suffers with low self-esteem. And because of that, that's one of the reasons why we really, really, really need to keep sharing unconditional love, not only on the second Saturday of the month, but every day we're here. Make a gesture of love, even if it's something simple like opening the door for someone you don't know.
Yeah.
You know, it matters, because when we do that, we create that positive, loving ripple in our small actions, you know, whether it's a kind word, a smile. So keep that in mind, okay? Because Mama feels proud about you already. You know, let's make her that much more proud to know that we're all doing something to bring joy and love and happiness and peace into the world, because we really need that now. Okay. On that note, I highly recommend start with this book.
Yep. And Healing the Holes in Your Soul. Everyone, have a great week.
Yeah.
Do something nice. Here's what I challenge all of you to do. Your neighbor, friend, anywhere you are, just give someone a compliment. Just a simple compliment. You look nice, your hair, the perfume, what a nice smile you have. Boy, you're so nice to speak to. Some kind of little minor compliment. Do that every day, because you are sharing the love. And that's what we need to share, because you are unlimited. Thank you, everyone.
Absolutely.
Namaste.
Namaste, everyone.
Thank you.